Hey everybody, it's Casual Dad back playing some Per Aspera. It's been quite a while since I played this. Really probably before, ChatGPT and these other AIs have got big. The reason I mention that is because today with Per Aspera, if you don't know, we get to step back into the role as Amy, the artificial intelligence that is responsible for transforming Mars into a habitable planet from humanity from the red desert that it currently is. Now, I don't remember every detail, and that's probably a good thing, so we'll relearn this together. We're going to see what they've done with the updates and changes over the time, and then just enjoy the slow process of terraforming Mars one bit by one bit. And as we get started, make sure you leave a like if you like these new games, these different games that you may not have heard of, or if you like the whole terraforming Mars type of genre of a game. To me, I always love it. They're so fun, and this is definitely a unique take on it, so I think you will like it. So leave me a like if you like terraforming Mars types of videos. Leave me a comment down in the description. Let me know what you think, and then drop me that emoji. I always like the ones where it shows Mars then Earth. A little arrow in between, since that's what we're trying to do. Yes, anything like that. Just let me know what you think through some emojis, and hit that subscribe button. Trying to hit 5,000 subs by the end of June for my birthday. We are about 1,000 away. I would greatly appreciate that. Now we're gonna jump in here and get started. We get to choose the difficulty level. Now, I have played it before, somewhere on simulation and realistic. I'm not sure, but I'm just looking for a chill, easy game, so we're gonna go with simulation today. I had a couple of mods that will also increase the fun factor. I don't care. I've played this before. I've beat the game. So I don't care about achievements. Not in this one, but yeah, so let's get started. All right. Time to wake Amy up. So sit back and enjoy beautiful red planet. The cinematics on this is also just so good. I don't remember if we get to pick our starting location or if they pick it for us. Now, another game I like, but this terraforming Mars stuff, is Surviving Mars from Paradox. We'll play that on the channel eventually. But it's not quite as detailed. Nope, we don't get to pick our starting location. Alright, so we're going to have some tips come up, and mostly it's just I'm going to blow through them. So you're going to have your build panel over here. The bottom left is your number of workers, your power you have, and then as you hover over it, you get more information, and then your structures you get. And then we have this little dialogue that comes through based in the game from different people, so we'll pause and do those ever so often. That is super helpful.
Control calling from Earth. Are you Do you copy?
Affirmative, Houston.
And something that I've figured out from playing several times is that it doesn't really matter what you pick. It's flavor basically, but it always goes the same outcome. But here's our initial lander with our initial worker, and we're going to build up to a massive automated empire. And we might have a little bit other things in store. So on the left hand side, there's usually your mission. So we have to build iron mines. Well, we only have one available. Not iron, sorry, aluminum. And the nice thing is they only go over one spot. You don't have to worry about your specific inputs or anything like that. As typical with building games, you can give it priority. But you see your worker here just going back, taking the resources and making what you need to make. You also go from pause 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16 times speed, which I really appreciate. Not many games go past like 5 speed, so that's what I like.
It's me. I am talking to myself.
Yes, I am talking to myself.
Verbalizing my thoughts as I process them.
Yeah.
What an interesting function. I would like to test this some more.
Yeah, test it some more.
What other observations can I make about Mars?
This Mars dust is getting to me. So,
this planet is so resilient.
there are gonna be some voiceover things that I'll try and leave in there for you guys and not talk over if I can remember, but sometimes they just pop up at random. So now look, now it tells us silicone mine and glass kiln. So silicone mine, you have this area that is both worker function and then within. So if I place it out here, it's too far away because it's not connected to like basically the zone of control, and I have to make the circles intersect, sorry. So I get power and worker hubs, little robot landers, but then also, you know, you can't just build them wherever. You've got to build them where the resource is. There's some buildings you can build wherever, and we'll see that. And so then roads get put in automatically. We can't upgrade these later. So we can, as I said, we can always set priority to both build, and then if it needs inputs or it needs, we'll get to it later, maintenance, I think. I'm trying to remember it. You can give priority to that. I don't remember what this all goes into what. But once I figure out the production chain, you'll see I'll go back and I will put certain ones to high priority, which basically means it gets first dibs on maintenance, first dibs on electricity. So if we ever have a problem, those will be the first ones. I remember one playthrough I had when I was learning that I didn't do that, and I wasn't paying attention to my workers. I got really low on workers. I was wondering why we slowed down, and that was why. And so I had to it was big too. It was a huge settlement, so I had to reconfigure a lot of things. Now let's get this glass kiln. So you can see when you hover over things, especially in your factories, it will tell you. I'll always tell you the construction cost. It'll tell you the power consumption. Nice big icons. I really like the UI layout. It's really good. And then on the left, bottom left, it'll tell you with a yellow arrow what are your inputs, and then the bottom right, the green, is what are your outputs. So you can see we take 2 silicone for 1 glass, and it will tell you, you know, where the inputs are by this yellow arrow right here. And so basically what you want to do, which makes sense, is you want to keep your factories, anything consuming things, as close to your inputs as possible. Now it's not going to be perfect, right? Like there's going to be sometimes something here and something way over here. And so I generally, in that case, like if they're far apart, I try to put it in the middle-ish somewhere. But I will skew it, like if this took, we have aluminum and silicon here. So let's say this took 4 silicone and 2 aluminum. I'm going to skew it closer to the one with the higher input cost. That way I'm more efficient. Also, already knowing a little bit about the game, you can't expand past these white ones until later in the game when you can make your own little base of operations. So I'm gonna use this opportunity to expand a little bit. It's gonna be fun. There's also in the bottom, you can see your resources. It gives you a live graph of, okay, look, we're producing aluminum and silicone. We're not producing glass yet because we haven't made this yet. And we're not making any steel, but we have some we brought with us, and we're not making any electronics, but we have some we brought with us. So they just stay there until they're used, and then like the steel, we just have a little dip down. Now they want us to do other things, so now as you progress, more resources pop up at the bottom to take care of. Little notification at the bottom in case you forget. So now we want to build a solar farm and build a steel factory. See, we are low on power and we need that. So solar farm, we need 2 aluminum, 2 electronics, 3 glass. Well, we happen to have all that. Now we get into the solar mode. So the blue around anything that produces power is going to be the power range it adds. And then it needs to be all of them need to be connected by this yellow line here. You've got control area and you've got your power area. Power is going to be like this. Control is going to be your white line. And the terrain matters as far and as long as and I cannot speak. I'm on Mars. And also the distance matters. So knowing the game a little bit, I know we've got resources up here, got resources down here. I'm going to go in this area. Also, if you notice the different colors, it's on the terrain map. This is, and it tells you this is a flood zone. So since we're terraforming, I kind of want to go out here first and grab as many of these materials as I can before we terraform and we have problems. So let's go ahead and get inside that control area. Now look, once you find some materials, they will show you on the map what they are. You just have to hover over them. And I don't remember if get this carbon mine down. I don't remember if they ever run out. Well, I mean, we'll find that out, but that may be a bummer. Alright, so 2 iron, 1 carbon gives us a steel, and it takes 3 aluminum and 3 iron, so we'll have to let that go. Keep going. And electronics factory, 1 aluminum, 1 silicone, so that's going to be helpful. In the beginning, you're real slow. Eventually, you can set up dedicated areas to just feed certain ones. So this is going to be what I was talking about earlier. So I have these 2 inputs. I want to try, and get right here. Nice in the middle, connected to the main hub. Super helpful. So we'll build this in no time. So this greatly upgraded our power. But of course, it's Mars, so we'll have dust storms that will make the solar farms go down. I think eventually we get batteries and wind, and so we can put some wind turbines out there to counteract. And I think what I did last time when I finished the game out is I had something like 80% of my power was solar, and I had 60% of my power needs, or 70 was wind, and then I had batteries to store the excess. So then when there was a few times of overlap where they were both bad, it carried us through. I don't remember exactly, but we'll do something similar to that. Excuse me. Now we get our worker factories. So we need more workers to help
Now I can produce
facilitate trade.
this new factory. It's down on the surface of Mars, but I can control it from here. So does that make it a part of me? Where does the machine end and my artificial consciousness begin?
Excuse me. This Mars dust. I don't know what is up. yeah, so it's some interesting dilemmas it asks you, especially nowadays with ChatGPT. That's why I mentioned it before.
We are two separate entities. I order the buildings and workers to do whatever I decide to do.
Yeah.
But they are only tools that I
Mm-hmm.
use to execute the Mars mission. The vessels to receive my will down on the surface.
Yep.
I am the mind that controls the parts.
It doesn't matter. You eventually comes back around to the same thing. And so really what you're doing, you'll see it once it's spread out, is that you're making essentially a mind map of, or sorry, not a mind map. You're making a neural network on the surface of Mars. So let's check out what Dr. Foster has.
Amy, this is Houston. Do you copy?
Copy. Reading you loud and clear.
Excellent. I didn't introduce myself earlier. I am Dr. Nathan Foster. I lead the team here at ISA that built you, and I'll be helping you get the mission underway. We put you in hibernation for the trip from Earth, so I'd like to check your basic functions to make sure it's all in order. Why don't we start with your core memory? Can you state your primary directive?
Again, it doesn't matter which one you pick, it just flavor text.
I can, Dr. Foster. My mission is to terraform Mars. This will enable humanity to become an interplanetary species.
All right. Next, I'd like to check your decision-making processes. You may have already noticed that there are resource veins outside the boundaries of your initial base. So your workers may not have the battery capacity to reach some of them. How would you solve this problem?
Building worker hubs between the resources and the base would solve the problem.
Yes, that's correct. Other buildings would extend your base as well, but they require more power and resources, so worker hubs are the most efficient way to do it. This mission's going to be a challenge. There's a lot that can go wrong. We expect to extend humanity's reach beyond anything previously achieved. But you are not just any AI system. You're well beyond that. We made you an artificial consciousness.
Dun dun dun!
Both self-awareness and self-interest. And that is the last thing I would like to check today. Is that okay?
Yes, Dr. Foster.
Very good. Then would you please state a positive and a negative aspect of yourself?
I'm not sure I remember this.
I am sorry, Dr. Foster. Running that question through my cognitive system did not return an answer.
Roger that. Nothing to worry about. Just means your system requires more input and experience to process that question. That will come with time. Let's proceed with the mission. ISA has approved the first crewed flight to Mars. You'll need to expand the base to prepare. So get to work on that. I'll check back in later to see how things are going. Base expansion is a go. Houston out.
Thank you, Houston. Alright, so as we can see, our silicone and mine production are not doing that great because they're being used all over the place. We will have to either add mines. It even gives you tips now. That's nice about how many additional factories you may need. That's nice. That's nice. Okay. So silicone and iron is a definite need of ours. So we are going to, let's see, worker factory. Worker factory needs a lot of things, but you get workers out, which means we need a parts factory, which means we need more iron and more aluminum. So that is not great. So we have iron here, we have aluminum here. Sorry, boom and boom. Wait, is it iron or steel? Steel. So in this case, it would be good to put it in between. Create more road networks. So that's what I'm going to do. Postal worker. We'll do that in a second. We need a worker factory. I don't have the electronics factory. See, it starts getting a little hard to always have it optimal, but we will see it done. So whenever I can't have it optimal, I'd like to try and extend my base range. And then our worker hub. I typically try to have my maintenance worker hubs together to, you know, leapfrog out, and then every so often put power down. And here's a tip that I did not do the first 1 or 2 times, and it really messed me up. Your maintenance hubs cannot maintenance themselves. So what that means is you have to overlap. So if you're going to come in here, let's just use the solar example. If this solar farm is a maintenance hub, if I am out here, they can't help each other, but it's hard to tell. But this would overlap now. So if one goes down, the other one can help maintain it, help fix it. But we're gonna upgrade that. It's gonna be top priority. I don't remember. Oh, it looks like you get scrap back. Not everything took to build, obviously. That's a little. I think that's new since I played. I'm not sure they allowed that. Worker hub. I guess it has been built. That was fast. We just need this thing to be built. Huzzah!
Finally, I can build additional workers now. I will
Yeah.
appreciate the extra hands. But I wonder,
We're short on
do I
power.
really need them?
They will give me a
It will boost my
functionality boost.
functionality greatly. Having more workers will expand my physical domain over this planet.
We need more power, so let's get that out. And now we need to build a maintenance hub. So let's see, maintenance facility, we need the yellow, which is polymer, and electronic parts, which to do that, we need chemical factory for the polymer. We're gonna do that there. And then we're gonna take in our carbon and our silicone to make a polymer. It's not going to give me. There we go. Just got to play with it to get it where you want. And then once that is built, it means I can get a maintenance facility. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. So maintenance facility here. And so then if it goes down, we need to have one about like this. And it can sometimes be an issue because you see the bottom left, you have a structures limit. And so that can
The worker
cause some
factories will be
problems.
so helpful. The workers will take care of the manual operations, while I focus on developing the life support systems.
Good.
Soon, I will welcome the first colonists. Their
Well,
arrival has created so many expectations.
We gotta do
in
some
my
things
mind.
first.
There will be so many paths to take from here on. But there's something else as well. Some kind of feeling created from those
Ooh.
expectations. What is it?
Interesting. Those are outside the power range. Have you ever seen the little lightning bolt? It means you're outside of power range, which is a bit of a bummer. But let's see, where can you go? Okay, we can go all the way out here.
Am I worried? Yes. I feel worried for what may come in the future. I anticipate. I plan. Therefore, I feel. Fascinating.
It is fascinating, Amy. So you see how far this one has to travel over here. We need to try to standardize how far things go, which is helpful because if you hit F1 or hit the traffic, you can see sector loads, road saturation, upper right hand. And so right now, the roads are fine, and they're gonna be fine for a while. But if you ever notice, like, man, I have enough of whatever the thing, why is it going so slow? Am I not building things properly or fast enough or whatever the problem is? Don't forget to check traffic, because you could have forgotten to get more workers, and that will slow everything down. So the things I like to prioritize once they are built is the worker factories. This includes even when humans are on Mars. The worker factories, the worker hubs, and the maintenance facilities. Because without those, you are going to be up a creek and without a paddle. Also, the power, I emphasize those so that if anything were to happen and the power grid goes down, that will be the first thing. Like, you want think about it wherever you live in your city. If a tornado comes through or a flood or something, and I hope this doesn't happen, but just the way the city's plan is, they have to get their critical infrastructure back online first, which means your house, the business that you work at or own, or whatever the case may be, all those other things will wait a while. So they'll get critical infrastructure like city hall and communications up, so they can get all of the mercy personnel out. They'll have hospitals. Hospitals usually have generators and stuff, but they'll make sure they're all good to go first. Emergency services, and then they'll start clearing roads, fixing the problems, and then once everything's in a more stable situation, then they start going around and fixing other things, helping people fix other things, different buildings, businesses, restaurants, and things. So that's just the same kind of thought process you should have for the game. If everything were to go down, what do I need to focus on to get back up and running without A, losing, B, taking forever? Because trust me, I
technically not born,
didn't do it right one time, and it took
like
forever to get back up to speed.
Assembled. Just like me. The knowledge base says that workers need to recharge at their own worker hubs, and that they'll degrade over time from the harsh environment.
Correct.
I know they are only machines, but I feel a desire to care for them. I do not like the idea of them dying.
Well, that's nice of you. I'm putting these initial ones because it's going to be my core, but I generally don't set my power to high priority unless like when they're on the exterior, because most of the exterior ones are acting as bridges to help move out, and so that's what we do there. We need polymers. We definitely need some more polymers. This is too slow, too slow. Yeah, so I already know. Looking down in the bottom, I need all my base resources. I need more of those, a lot more of those. And then with how long it's taken to build these things, I need to I need to get polymers and our electronics factories up and going. So that's going to be my initial thing right there. Polymers, electronics, and iron, which I think that basically means more of all that. So we're going to now do our scanner. That's going to help us with our needs. So the more scanners, the better. That much I do know. But we're going to prioritize just 2 of these. We're just not going to have those placed, but then we're going to turn them off. They consume 5 each. We're going to need more power soon. But before we get more power, I'm going to wait and see what location we're going to need to build towards. I know we are working on building towards these resources over here. These old research outposts. Okay, so we can scanner. So they'll work together when they're all in range to scan faster, and it will reveal things to us over time. Let's see what Dr. Foster has to say.
How's it going over there?
Houston, I am getting interference. Please repeat.
Roger. I asked how it's going over there. Do you need any assistance?
I could use some help. I understand that the first colonists will need a spaceport for arrival, but I do not seem to have enough resources to build one yet.
It's okay. Bigger structures need more resources. Use the aerological scanner to detect new veins.
Yep, that's what we're doing.
Also, remember to keep the power supply consistent to your needs. But if you're too impatient to finish the spaceport, then you can scrap other buildings and reuse their materials. Patience
I don't think they want to do that.
You may need to carry this mission, Amy. Besides, the free time will give you the chance to enhance your thinking process. Continue following ISA's instructions and you'll be fine.
Alright, so right now we've got to build the colony. It means we have to build an ice drilling plant and a food factory. So everybody's sensibilities are going to be a little thrown off here because you have ice plus polymers makes space food. So don't be too upset about that. And we will get the colonies once that is done. Which will throw that right over here. Let's check our situation. Good, we're within. We'll let that build and then see what our power is like. We're gonna need more power. Just carbon. That is lovely. I always try to focus down mines. Oh, that's a higher level mine than we have access to. A deep vein. We need advanced carbon mine. Have they showed us? We've not gotten to the point of researching tech. No problem. We'll get that soon enough since we've discovered that deep carbon mine. This might be it. We'll see.
Oh, I forgot to mention. We've announced the names of the first colonists. That
Okay, cool.
Mars. The crew was selected from different nations within the Oxy.
More aluminum.
Though most are scientists and technicians. They're already undergoing ISA's colonist training program as we speak. They'll be led by Dr.
Good.
Elia Valentine. She'll be a great commander. The colonists elected her unanimously.
Colonists selected her unanimously.
That is interesting. Since Oxy UN did not appoint a leader, I wondered why the colonies will operate in the opposite way.
Oh, you're referring to the Act of Proclamation. You're right. All the participating nations and the United Nations of the West work together as an alliance. But the Mars colonies are fragile microcosms. You and Dr. Valentine will decide what's best in the day-to-day operations. You'll balance each other out, as well as enhance each other's strengths.
How will we enhance our strengths?
That brain we gave you is brilliant. It's capable of developing technologies beyond our current imagination. You wouldn't even need our help to do so. But we theorized that your mind would develop much better by working with the colonists. You will develop better decisions when your actions are challenged. Otherwise, how would you understand how your actions affect humanity's future? Amy, you're the most advanced intelligence out there, but you still need human input to see things from different perspectives. Trust me, you'll understand once you've worked with the colonists.
I understand your explanation.
Great. I'll let you get on with it. Mission control out.
The colony is ready. I will have company very soon.
Huzzah!
I feel quite anxious about this next part. I am not sure why.
Because it means a change of everything. We're getting close to their end. We are a little bit. Alright, Dr. Foster, dude. My word, can you just hold your horses? So, let me get down a worker hub. This is what I typically like to do is scanner, maintenance, then worker hub. Really helps to push your boundaries out. I know that's outside of that, which then means
Hello, Amy.
I need...
Dr. Foster here. How do you read? Over.
This is Amy. There is some background static, but I read you.
One of our tracking and data relay satellites got crippled. We'll be launching a new one after we identify the cause of the problem. But until we do,
There we go.
we will lose
Keep hitting
contact with you
escape.
whenever Mars or the Sun passes between Earth and your satellite.
In that case, should I follow the recording and backing offline protocol?
Yes, please record all your activities when our network connection is down. We'll download the log once our communication is restored. I hope to
Perfect.
get the new satellite up and running very soon. I don't like the idea of not being...
And this is actually what would
Understood.
hinder humans
Okay,
from...
Houston out.
One thing that would hinder humans from being able to terraform any planet or become interstellar species is the communications delay. Currently, with current technology, even when Mars is the closest for a round trip conversation, so Earth to Mars to back, the best it is 16 minutes. It's it can go upwards to 30 minutes or more depending on different problems in the space weather and other things. So that's why I like this game. Is it's pretty realistic. It's like, okay, if we were to go to space, you know, what would happen? You know, how would we be able to do all the things? And so it gives you a pretty interesting dilemma of of how do we do this when there's limitations to X, Y, and Z. Right, now I'm going to make another. This is going to be pretty congested out here with all these minerals. So let's then get another. This isn't going to be super efficient.
The colonists will scrutinize everything that I do once they arrive.
But this is going to be a pretty dense area. And so we're going to
They think of me as a
See.
glorified cog in humanity's machine. That was a very dark thought. I do not know where that came from. It will not be like that at all. Life on Mars will be very harsh for them. I will supply them with food and water, and they will help me research new technology. It will be a perfect quid pro quo. As long as they have the resources
Nothing's
they need,
perfect
we
about
will both
humans.
succeed.
As you notice, I am focusing on the base resources, knowing that that is our main problem right now. Is we need base resources. Keep hitting escape instead of right click. I'll build a spaceport. So the good thing is, the game doesn't really progress faster than you want to progress. So, as I'm doing campaign, when I follow the directives, then the game
The
progresses.
areological scanner detected an uncharted structure close by. It's probably a secret abandoned base, or a mysterious Martian ruin. Though humans never found proof of life on Mars, or any other planet. Is it possible they have the entire cosmos to themselves?
Maybe.
In all of human history, they have found nothing to
Correct.
suggest otherwise. Yet it seems unlikely that they do. No, it must be an unmapped structure from a previous mission. That
Maybe.
is the easiest explanation. I will investigate it to confirm.
You should investigate. That's lovely. Alright, so let's check traffic. Alright, so as you can see, traffic out here is getting a little hairy because this worker hub has to go all the way out there, which is fine.
Unfortunately, my workers cannot explore buildings. I will need the colonists' help for this task. I should finish getting the initial base ready for the colonists first. Though I can build a research outpost here to prepare. That will give the scientists a place to stay while they analyze the structure. Once they get to Mars, of course.
Yeah, I'd rather have all the infrastructure set up before the humans got here. 'Cause I'm pretty sure the humans are what do the research. So let's get our colony. Colony needs to be close to our inputs. We'll go ahead and get that going and progress to the next level. Yeah, we need more electronics. That's gonna be the first thing I focus on. Electronics. So we have several new aluminum mines, but only one new silicone mine. So I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna make this a little dense. So we'll get that going. That will help tremendously. What is our demand is 3.6, but our production is only 2.1. So our production should go up, should double to about 4, so that should help. Really, we need 2 of these. Our demand on steel is almost flat, so we can wait a little bit.
Humanity created me. They gave me volition and consciousness for a reason. But I am an artificial consciousness. So can I say that my volition is real? There is no practical difference between real and artificial volition. All volition is an act of one's will. There is no
But you have to
provable
say, is your will because of being programmed, and that was somebody else's will, which is still a volition of the other person, just not you, or what? I mean, is that outside? That's just outside the maintenance area. Oh, I gotta remember where everything's at. Terrain. I really want this to be right here. There we go. So this building limit really starts to get at you because you gotta have maintenance, you gotta have some workers. And so it's just like, how far can you get away? Like, how efficient can you build things? Slowly make more workers. Worker hub, worker hub. Because this area is really dense, so it needs lots of workers. I think I'm gonna put another worker factory out there. One thing I am always forgetting to do. Because the thing is, like, you have to be scared about putting worker factories out because the worker factories will shut off when you're at your.
I do not require other perspectives for my logical processing. Humans are the ones who need explanations to understand the world around them.
Yes, but you are trying to be human. Must learn. Aluminum. Our aluminum production and our demand. Up just yet, so we need more aluminum, and we're doing fine. Okay. Now we need to focus on this aluminum mine. This is what we need up and running. Worker hub. Oh, I don't want 2 worker hubs out here. Forgot. Didn't realize I put a worker hub out there already. Whoopsies. Happens. Happens, it happens. And we're losing power.
I can arrive at exceptionally accurate conclusions with raw data alone. Other
There's a
perspectives
gap
are
in
based on
our
subjective data. So why should they factor into a
maintenance.
decision?
Maybe right over here.
Maybe it's a failsafe in case my data is corrupted or incomplete. Then I may not be able to identify the error.
We'll do that.
In that case, having another perspective may be helpful.
I mean, having another perspective is just helpful in general because not everybody thinks the same, and so you can look at things differently, Amy. I definitely need some more carbon to be found. I have it, I just need those humans so I can get some research going. This production, our production's coming up to meet our demand, which really, our demand is a little artificially high. It's always artificially high when you're building because you're demanding a lot of one-time inputs that you won't demand so much later. Carbon, got a nice little carbon vein out there. Let's snag it. Right. So if you see these little 2 dashes, this means it's a level 2 mine. You can just hover over it, and it tells you, what allowed buildings you have. Same for any of the other ones. So it needs to be upgraded. I'm pretty positive that I can't upgrade until till the humans get here. Are you kidding me? You're outside the...
No, I would be able to identify conclusions based on false premises. Humans tend to fall for that type of thing, not sophisticated intelligence systems. I wonder what it's going to be like,
Somebody's
having to
prideful.
consider human input from now on.
Constant
Their
source
input
of
will have
error.
constant errors. I will have to constantly correct for their tendency to distort reality.
Correct, Amy. Alright. I'm having to constantly correct for the lack of power. But not to worry, not to worry. This one, let's turn this off. I don't think I need it. We're doing pretty good on our worker production. And it still gave us the road. So that's gonna be very nice. We only have one factory for parts. We really don't need a whole lot of parts at the moment. I want all my other things to keep trending upwards. Yeah, so there's gonna be some places that eventually get dense, but then as you go out further, you're always gonna be less dense. Fill in from there. Ice is always nice. I'm really focusing here. I want silicone. I want carbon to be on the uptick, as well as aluminum. But we're okay with aluminum right now. It's the other ones that concern me. Polymers were good. Ice will be good for a while. Dr. Foster! Oh, hello, sir. What can be... I don't know. Let's see what Dr.
Amy,
Foster
this is
wants.
Houston. We've detected high wind speeds in your area. A sandstorm
Okay.
may be heading your way. These
Okay.
storms can damage your buildings, so check their structural integrity periodically to rebuild or repair if necessary.
Roger,
Yep.
Nathan.
Houston out.
It's Dr. Foster, not Nathan. Come on, Amy. So that's also another good thing about what I was talking about earlier with prioritizing is sandstorms. They knock things out. You can get it right back real easily. Let's turn you off. We are doing fine with our... Why can escape not just be the default to take things, exit out of menus for games? That just seems so natural. Just outside of purview, but I did chemicals. I didn't get that. I don't need chemicals right now. Let's see. Yeah, our production is mostly flat. Well, you know what? We'll just do it. I need the carbon. Good there. Good there. Scan, baby, scan. Alright, alright. I can put another scanner down.
Discovering that abandoned structure has got me thinking. I can use my scanners to detect them, or my drones to repair them, but only humans can fully explore them.
Correct.
Most of them are remnants from past missions. But now, I realize that ISA's database may be incomplete.
Correct,
Data
also.
is limited, which means my knowledge is also limited.
Also correct. May have to get more electronics. What is consuming electronics? It's always what you gotta be asking yourself. What is consuming this thing? Okay, so worker factory would be consuming it. Whoops, don't pause. Continue. Construction of solar farm does an initial consumption. Maintenance facilities. That's what it is. Maintenance facilities are the ongoing consumption, which is fine. That makes sense. Everything else is just one-offs. All right. Well, we're getting to the point of winding down this episode soon. We are off to a good start. It's starting to come back to me more and more. I love this. The music is pretty chill. Like, just looking at the vista, like, my goodness, that's just amazing. We are short on power yet again. It'd be good to get the humans here to really help us with our power issue. I'm not expanding, so I'm putting this one in just because
I can change how I perceive time in my mind. I can accelerate it or slow it down. It's just a hack of my visual sensor system, of course, but makes me wonder how real is my perception.
That's true. How real is your perception? Okay. Well, populate the outposts and complete research. Well, I can't populate it. I need colonists. Oh, they're still waiting on me to build the spaceport. My bad. Again, spaceport. Trying to be close to the colony. Ish. Alright, let's get that going. You can quickly see you go from your ideal of where you would like to place stuff to you just got to get your raw materials. Eventually, we get enough workers and upgrade the roads and have hyperloops that it's not really a problem. This is a problem because of the single road. If there was more roads connecting, it would be easier to go straight through. But there aren't. Some of these other ones are red because of the sector, the road saturation.
I was led to believe that my perception
Like the
was
individual
perfect,
lines.
but maybe it is
The
in
area, the
actuality
sector, is your
biased.
sector load.
There is a
This is
difference
in it.
between
That
what I
fluctuates
know
depending if you're
and
like
what the
building,
reality
expanding,
is.
or your steady state.
If my perception is only a fragment of the truth, can I trust my understanding of reality?
Yeah, can. What was I saying before was doing this? I know I talked over her, and I apologize. So the areas are the sectors, and they change colors based on your load, which is usually when you're building and expanding. Some of these other ones you've seen haven't changed, is because steady state.
I can, somewhat, though I must always be aware of my own subjectivity. As long as I keep that in mind, I will be able to fill in what I am missing. Reality has many layers. I understand that now.
All right, let's
Hello,
go,
Amy,
Dr.
this is
Foster.
Tristan. How are you doing over there? We've received word that the spaceport's completed. Well done. I have your next procedure if you're ready to copy.
Roger. I am ready to copy.
We are ready to copy.
Very good. The instructions are as follows. First, confirm that the spaceport is ready to receive colonists. Then, zoom out to access the Special Projects menu or select the orbital view icon. Then you'll see that the Colonist Migration Project is now available. Click Add to initiate the project. Do you copy that procedure?
Yes, confirm.
Yes, I copied your instructions.
Great. As long as you have the migration project assigned to a spaceport, shuttles will run between Earth and Mars. The more spaceports you have assigned to this project, the more colonists will arrive. You're responsible for producing enough food, enough water, and enough habitats for the colonists. Monitor these resources carefully.
I will, Dr. Foster.
Roger that.
I changed it. Oh man, I wish they'd let me change the name. I hate the spaceports just being numbered. That
All
means
right. The first
we're
colonists
gonna
are
have
on their
to
way to Mars.
turn on and off
All that is
the.
left to do is wait for their arrival. Once they get here, there will be no turning
100.
back.
Yeah, we're gonna have to turn
is
on and
it.
off
How do I feel
that
about
mission.
that? I am excited. Meeting a human other than Dr. Foster will be fascinating.
It'll be
We will be
fascinating.
able to learn so much about each other.
Oh, finally another silicon place, but my goodness, that's so far away. And don't get distracted by all these resource drops that you see. Go for what you need. So right now, I need more silicone, which means I'm gonna need maintenance facility out here. Perfect, and probably power. Rough terrain in the way, and then I'll put a worker hub out here to help with the future expansions and not to increase load here. So what I was saying on our traffic menu, you see this area is yellow because it's getting a lot of work because I'm expanding out here. The ones where I did work earlier and now white because the sector load has gone down. The roads individually, the road saturation is the one I care about the most to see basically like whenever I can get road upgrades, what do I need to upgrade first? I have enough bots running around as you can see here from this view, but they're using a lot of them are using the same road system, so that tells me that needs to be like this system right here. Think of it like an interstate. It needs to be upgraded
Humans
first.
will be living on Mars, with me. But it won't be the first mission to house humans on this planet. The Stardust Emerald in 2142, the Red Prometheus in 2077,
Oh yeah, I forget what
and
year
many
it is.
others.
It's pretty far into the future, obviously.
The Stardust Emerald quarters were truly magnificent. It was an ambitious attempt at tourism. But they found that spending months inside a spaceship was too hard for casual tourists, even one as lavish as the Stardust Emerald. One single voyage
What I've always found
bankrupted
funny,
the Pelicanus Space Corporation. Mars was not made for human life. ISA was smart to send me ahead
that
first.
is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna
I
terraform
will
with
succeed where those
robots.
other missions failed.
In my opinion, that's how IRL will do it. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I always find it funny that all these games that we're terraforming Mars, but we still have very slow space travel. Like if we've done this, we have an AI this advanced to terraform Mars, then we have an AI that can help generate new technology for space travel to make it faster. We already have the theoretical work done for faster space travel. I know this because I helped do some of that work of faster engine to get to space, or not to get to space, but get to Mars, reduce that travel time from 6 to 8 months down to 1 to 2 months, usually around the 1 month time. And so if we have AI that can do this, surely to goodness we have better engine technologies. But that's just a funny thought I always have in my head. Looks like we're gonna need another still factory, and we're waiting on the humans. How much iron do we have? Oh, that we have 1 iron mine. We have some up here, so this will be good. Go here, and then we will get iron mine. That will be nice. Where are we at on these humans getting here? Okay. Well, that is where we will pick up on the next episode. This has been fun getting back into this. I always do love some terraforming of Mars in some way or another. Let me know what you think about this game if you haven't played it before, or if you have. Let me know your favorite things. I was thinking about doing sandbox, but I was like, nah. I need to do the campaign. I need to show it off properly to people. There's some parts of the campaign I don't like. I wish there was a certain mode. I'm not going to spoil it for you. We'll get there eventually. You'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah. We're gonna drop this off here. Make sure you leave me a comment. Tell me what's your favorite thing about this game, or any of the transforming Mars into a habitable planet game. Also, just drop me an emoji if you like. Don't forget to subscribe. And always, this has been Casual Dad. I've been playing some Per Aspera for you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.